Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. So coming off the back of Ahsoka Part 3, which I broke down in my previous video, we have some excellent news for the next one, Part 4 next Tuesday. Time to Fly was on the shorter end of the live-action runtime scale, but thankfully, not that it matters though because quality over quantity, Episode 4 has now been revealed to be 42 minutes long. Without credits, that's 38 minutes and 27 seconds. Now remember that Episode 5, which follows it, is even longer at 49 minutes and 50 seconds in length. Now this is double good news, because Part 4 is directed by Peter Ramsey, and Dave Filoni as the one after that. Peter is one of the most talented in the slate directing this season, and using a bit of deductive reasoning, we might have a hint as to what his episode might have in store. He directed Chapter 21 of The Mandalorian, and that's a huge clue. That episode was titled The Pirate. It was the one centered around Carson Tava seeking New Republic help with a pirate attack on Navarro. And while at the New Republic base on Adelphi, we came across Zeb Orrelios. He was the first Ghost crew member we've seen in the Mandoverse, his first live-action appearance, and now of course the Ahsoka show is giving us the rest. Or, should I say, those who are still alive. And because Peter Ramsey directed his cameo in Mando, is it possible that Zeb is going to appear in the next episode of the show? And there is some precedence in the plot. The Ahsoka series is expanding our understanding of New Republic politics, and since Hera Syndulla could not get approval from the Senate Committee for a fleet on the Denab system, could she contact Zeb for help, just for a bit of backup, an old friend? This, as I say, would facilitate a fantastic reunion in live action. And even in the final episode of Star Wars Rebels, Zeb alluded to the struggle the Ghost crew had getting help from the wider alliance, and Outpost Endor from the New Republic, so he knows all about that. I'm sure he's willing to help. And Dave Filoni even teased this is possible when, after the episode of Mando aired earlier this year, he stated that who Zeb contacts next is what is most fascinating. Did Hera reach out to him? We've also been told that Ahsoka takes place adjacent to the events of the third season of The Mandalorian, and that could be another telltale sign of this possibility. In either case, we have some fantastic live-action Star Wars coming up. I'm so excited for Part 4. I said in my full episode breakdown Part 3 was really short, and I wish they would have merged it, but that's the point. They're setting up a fantastic and epic second half of the season, and we're not even halfway. We expect the next episode to show us more of Baylan. We think it's going to be Baylan versus Ahsoka. Some words might be shared between them. And maybe he's going to reveal how he knew Anakin during the days of the Republic. And maybe some more reveals concerning Marrok. I'm convinced that he's the canon version of Starkiller. He finally spoke in the last episode, and I believe the mystery surrounding his character is what we're all curious about at this point. He's the most mysterious villain, but Baylan as well. His backstory, what happened to him after Order 66? How far to the dark side is he? I'm gonna say not too much. He reminisces a lot about the Jedi Order of old, and I think this is a clue. Could his motive be that he never wanted the Jedi Order to fall? And when we're talking about time and space in this show, is it possible he wants to turn back time and stop Anakin turning to the dark side? I love this theory, and it's plausible. It's gonna blow fans away if true. I explored it once in depth in a video, the ramifications of all of that. And would Ahsoka want the same thing? When you think about it, she might be enticed, even if she herself is a former Jedi. It's also going to be the episode where we suspect Marrok is going to reface Ahsoka, and Sabine versus Shin. It's the episode where the trailers show us Sabine again tries to use the Force, but Shin shouts at her, "You have no power." And we already know that episode 5, so the week after next, is going to be one of the biggest episodes of live-action Star Wars. The leaks have said there are some huge surprises waiting. I'm not going to talk about those because I do understand not everyone wants to be spoiled. But it's all coming together, and like so many of us, I'm highly anticipating Peridia, the second galaxy. In other Ahsoka news, we have our first proper look at Ezra Bridger in live action. We already saw his hologram, we saw Mon Mothma as Ezra Bridger, but on the side of the upcoming Black Series figure of him, we can see a clearer version of Mon Mothma as Ezra Bridger in his Star Wars Rebels Season 4 gear. It's just an illustration, but just like the hologram, it gives us a good idea. And fans are aching to see what's happened to Ezra. It's a question Dave Filoni knows we are eager for the answer to, and so I don't know how long it's going to be until we see a fully fledged Ezra Bridger, not in a hologram, not in an illustration, but in the flesh on screen. Some are saying this is confirmation that he did not turn to the dark side, as some fans have theorized, but in either case, this figure is going off his Star Wars Rebels look. We don't know if he's going to look the same when Sabine and Ahsoka find him. We don't know if he's still with Thrawn, but I do not subscribe to the theory that he turned to the dark side. If anything, he might be a recluse. But this picture is really cool. I'm curious to see if we ever find Ezra in this season, or is it going to be safe for the next? Was Amanis Fondi's role resigned to just a hologram? I'm going to speculate not, because the Purgle in the last episode was a big hint that we really are going to this new galaxy. We're really going to find out where Thrawn and Ezra went. I don't think we're going there just for Thrawn. For our heroes, the big quest is to retrieve their friend. And so finally, my dear friends, the question of Ahsoka's true viewership. The other day I spoke about the Samba TV numbers, and I gave caveats as to why that might be wrong, but Disney Plus, for the first time ever for any of these shows, have given their own statistic, their own figure for how the Ahsoka premiere performed. And again, there are things to keep in mind, but here is their take. This is from StarWars.com. Ahsoka draws 14 million views for the first episode. This is on par with some of the biggest streaming shows in the world, including Stranger Things. They say Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company are thrilled and humbled to announce that Part 1 of Ahsoka Master and Apprentice was the most watched title on Disney Plus this past week. And while that might be true, the 14 million views is a bit misleading, and they very cleverly worded this. This is views, not viewers. There is a big distinction there, and Netflix do the same when counting their viewership. When they say views, this doesn't mean individuals. I mean, sure, it's a very high number, but they're also counting rewatches, which isn't genuine. It's not a clear number which indicates the outreach of the show. So we don't have an exact number of how this premiere performed, but due to all the social media hype, I suspect it did very well. I know this show is rather niche, but I cannot imagine it performing poorly. It's trending all over YouTube and Twitter, or should I say X.com. There has been so much hype and marketing, but as a fan, I am having a great time. It truly is peak Dave Filoni content, right out of his animated playbook. But it works, the story is solid, and we're moving steadily towards a big showdown. As I say, my dear friends, please go and check out my full episode breakdown for episode 3, Time to Fly. Over the next few days I will be posting more videos, breaking down certain scenes and characters, and again, going in depth and giving my analysis. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if you want more videos that you can't find here on YouTube while getting access to our Discord server, and so much more, then click the link down there in the description. But until the next one, my dear friends, may the Force be with you, always.